So in the famous words of Thomas Jefferson himself, what did I miss? What did I miss? Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid and I am back. I picked a hell of a week to go away, didn't I? Because I go away, nice sunny beaches, sunny vistas, everything absolutely perfect. And the wrestling world decides to implode as we have Drew McIntyre lose to Roman Reigns in the UK, and we have the AEW all-out, burnout, fallout, fight, absolutely everything that could have gone wrong sort of went wrong, and the company itself sort of imploded from that. And mental, absolutely mental, trying to keep track of some of this stuff and follow it is insane. I'm gonna go on the fact that you guys know what has happened, because I'm a week late to the party. Probably won't be reviewing All Out because I don't think anyone cares about All Out, in all honesty. I think they just care about this, and I need to get my thoughts out there, my opinions on the matter, what I think should happen, and how I think it's been handled thus far. So, long story short, CM Punk cut a brutal sort of pipe bomb-esque promo meltdown in the AEW All Out media scrum that then caused a backstage fight between members of the Elite and CM Punk and Ace Steel in the backstage area. And from there we have had the Elite being suspended, numerous people backstage, Christopher Daniels, Pat Buck, they've been suspended as well. And there's no word yet on the status of Ace Steel and CM Punk, who are two main components of the fight. So, where I lean on this, my initial reaction, and that is that the fight is the least important bit of this. That might sound controversial, but at the end of the day, if you are fighting in a workplace, then you should be suspended, borderline fired at the end of the day. I think it's as simple as that. I don't think it's sort of who started it, who finished it kind of thing. I think if there is a brawl which took place in a workplace, let us not forget, everyone involved should be suspended or fired. Simple as that. Absolutely simple as that. So the brawl itself, let's put that to one side. Me personally, I find the most sort of intriguing and interesting aspect of this is the promo that Punk cut in the media scrum. That is where I think the most damaging aspects lie, and the most problematic areas of this, because if people get in a fight, then everyone's sort of at fault. You have a press conference where someone goes off script, and granted it is an off script interview, it's not a kayfabe one, and Punk just rattles down all these grievances with the company on basically live TV. That is not good for your company, and the fact that Tony Khan sat next to him and didn't stop him in any of this is just baffling to me. Absolutely insane, because why would you want your top star, which Punk is the top star of AEW, to say some of the things that he said, calling Hangman Page a dumb fuck? Would you really want that? At the end of the day, like I said with the fight, you call someone a dumb fuck in the workplace, you're suspended. You're gone. I don't know how that's been allowed to fly as well, regardless of whatever Hangman Page seemingly did. And running down, how the EVPs can't manage a target, how they are stepping on their own dicks, the whole stuff with Colt Cabana, everything in this sort of tirade of hate was just so unprofessional, and that's what I fall back on. I don't care if you agree or disagree with what Punk says. The way he did it itself is the most problematic aspect of this, and that is coming on a stage, sounded a bit weird, and just in front of the press. Like, this is supposed to be a massive, massive weekend for AEW. Really big show. All Out's probably their biggest show of the year, and you've got Punk just shitting on it, essentially. He's taking down one of your top stars in Hangman Page. He's taking down 3 of your champions in the Elite. And you don't want that airing where everyone can see. this should have been something that was brought up entirely backstage. We should not have known about this, any of this. It should not have been made public. And Punk is the one who's done that. The issue, well, not the issue, where I really, really struggle with this whole CM Punk thing is I don't understand where it started. I have gone back and looked at the promos leading into Double or Nothing from Hangman Page, and I cannot understand what triggered CM Punk so much that he unleashed this upon the world. I honestly can't. Like, the people say it was the line, it was the about the locker room leader, it's the quiet moments when you're not on TV. And that is a drop in the ocean, absolute drop in the ocean compared to stuff that Eddie Kingston said and stuff that MJF said. So I don't understand the sort of animosity and hatred for Hangman, who went into business for himself. I just don't get it. And this entire situation has put a real damp fog on CM Punk's return. Because, like everyone, I was hyped when Punk came back. I've got a CM Punk t-shirt. I am a shill, and I bought a CM Punk t-shirt when he came back. And it was great. It was great while the wheels were still on. You know, you had the feud with Darby, which was great. You had the feud with Eddie that was great. You had the feud with MJF that is spectacular. And then, for all intents and purposes, I thought the Hangman Page story was, while a bit uneven, pretty good. You know, I liked the way they were approaching it of Hangman Page being the defender of AEW against CM Punk. I thought that was a really nice touch to it. Maybe that's where, you know, Punk differs and just everything sort of went south, because from him winning the title at Double or Nothing, everything has just been a shit show. The interim title stuff was useless. You know, Moxley did really well with it, but having Punk come back in the way that he did, having him be squashed in the way that he did, really good, got the world talking. Having him cut a promo a week later, getting fired up by the power of Chicago, and then him winning it back, not good. Not good. I did not like that in the slightest. And it's a real sour note for AEW and for the career of CM Punk, this. What I think happens next, because I've said my piece right there. You've had my rant. I think CM Punk is mainly in the wrong, and the Elite, regardless of who started the fight, should indeed be suspended. But from what we know, everything about them that was said by Punk is just hearsay. There hasn't been anything factually confirmed about that. But the only thing we've got to go on that is fact is that CM Punk went on this rant in a public setting. What happens next? I do think Punk is done with AEW. I can't imagine him coming back after this. And to be honest, I can't see Tony Khan wanting to bring him back into the fold after seeing what happens when he gets rubbed the wrong way, essentially. And that is not a toxicity that you want in your company. This has apparently split the AEW locker room, and you don't want that. You don't want a toxic environment, because I feel like it's just led to sort of just everything being off. Things have felt off with Dynamite lately. The best episode they've had in a while was this most recent one that didn't have Punk or the Elite on it sort of whatsoever. And it's just incredibly, incredibly frustrating to see Punk go like this. I don't think he'll be back. I believe the Elite will be at some point. I think Kenny and the Bucks will return. Ace Steel, no. I think everyone who's on suspension, like Christopher Daniels and everyone, they'll all be back following the investigation. But I don't see Punk returning to AEW, at least until he's cleared, which is 8 months or something. Which is insane that he's injured again and the belt's been vacated again. And I think if he comes back, there's not a chance in hell that they'll put the title back on him. I think that is the biggest mistake they could possibly do, is have Punk return as a babyface and have him win the belt, because he's a two-time champ. He is a two-time champ, and the reign lasted probably about 8 days in total. Mental stuff. You can't help injury, but it is what it is. And yeah, I think that promo in the media scrum is Punk's swan song to AEW. And I think that's really sad. I say that from a disappointed perspective rather than an angry or antagonistic perspective. I'm just upset with this whole situation. And it's been like a glorious car crash to watch, but I'm kind of done with it now. Just want it to be swept under the rug and punishments dished out. Everyone who wants to go their separate ways goes their separate ways, and AEW moves on with a new focus and a new life, a new fresh, engaging life. Because AEW is great. It's a great show, great weekly wrestling television, and this hasn't put a damper on the show for me. I'm nothing but optimistic going forward. And I now pass the question over to you. Since I've been away, what has been your perspective on all this drama? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.